year-olds who were put off religion because of the mimbar. Instead of the mimbar being a mimbar of mercy, it became a mimbar where the speaker would look down at his crowd, not be alongside his crowd. You find the first reason someone comes out like this is because of the method we are using. The method we are using sometimes may be wrong. Then number two, there may be a second reason why someone comes out like this when they don't wear hijab. Because we are focusing on the piece of the jigsaw, but once again we're not explaining the puzzle as a whole. Dr. Ali Shariati, the famous Iranian thinker, used to say, when they asked him, why is it that there are women out there who don't wear hijab? Do you know what he replied? He said, it's not because they haven't heard a lecture on hijab. They've heard thousands. It's because they don't trust the religion as a whole makes any sense to them. If you were first to explain the structure of the religion and the fact that it's a holistic way of life, then after that you would see that the jigsaw piece, that's hijab, would be adopted straight away. What are we doing? We're focusing on the jigsaw piece, but we've forgotten the puzzle. When I see someone who doesn't wear hijab, it's not for me to come and tell them, you should wear hijab, you're wrong not to wear hijab. No, I would first come and say that holistically, do you think Islam is a way of life? They'd reply, yes, holistically I believe it's a way of life. Theologically, I believe in the God of Islam. Ethically, I believe in the akhlaq of the Prophet of Islam. But jurisprudentially, I have a doubt about whether hijab is wajib or not. When I come to that person, theologically, when they don't wear hijab, does that mean that they don't believe in the God that I believe in? No, they do. Akhlaq-wise, does that mean they don't have akhlaq? Wallah, in some cases, some of them do. But the area of law, maybe they differ with me. They may say to me, I don't believe the Quran has a verse where hijab has to be worn. At that moment, I sit them down. I say, what do you mean? They say in the Quran, it says you cover your bosom area. But there's no verse which says cover your hair. I say, do you know how to study the Quran? Because when you study the Quran, you need to have knowledge of pre-Islamic Arabian culture. The Quran, why did it say draw your veil over your bosom? Because the Quran was speaking to a group of people who in Arabian society used to already wear veils, but their neck was showing and their bosom area was showing. The Quran was addressing them by saying, now draw your veil over your bosom. Meaning you are already wearing a hijab on your hair. But if you don't cover your neck and you don't cover the chest area, then the hijab is not complete. Notice the approach. That girl who doesn't wear hijab, I don't come to and say, you're a bad person. Why? Theologically, her Allah is my Allah. Ethically, her akhlaq is my akhlaq from the Prophet and his family. But jurisprudentially, I come to her with a different understanding. Then there's a third reason why someone like Rima may not have come towards hijab. Do you know what it is? The third reason is we haven't understood the philosophy of hijab. You know Rima Faqih, when she wore the swimsuit? When she wore the swimsuit in the Miss USA contest, do you know what she was missing? She was missing an understanding of the philosophy of hijab. Oprah Winfrey is in town, isn't she? Yes? And Oprah will be in the Oprah house. Oprah Winfrey had a famous interview with a lady by the name of Krista Bremer. Krista Bremer has a famous article called Bikini or Headscarf, which offers more freedom. Oprah Winfrey sat down with Krista Bremer. Please listen to this point. Oprah said to her, Krista, what is it about the headscarf that made you praise it more than you praise the bikini? Listen to her reply. Krista Bremer, and Google her and you'll see the whole article. Krista Bremer tells Oprah Winfrey, she says, Oprah, the scarf of Islam affects the person in their childhood and in their adulthood in a positive way. Why? She said, I was married to an Arab Muslim. She's married to an Arab Muslim. She says, when I'm married to him, my husband is of Islamic values. I love the religion. but we had a difference. I didn't want my daughter to wear hijab at the age of 9. And he wanted my daughter to wear at the age of 9. She said, but when my daughter wore the hijab, I realized my husband was right and I was wrong. Do you know why? Listen to why. She said, as a human, we have 3 skins. If you peel one skin off, there's a second. And if you peel a second, there's a third. Go and study biology, you'll see that we have 3 skins as human beings. She said, Islam's the only religion which tells you that you as a woman have 3 skins as well. Please understand what she says. She says, do you know my daughter, when she went to school, I was fearing the day she'd have to go swimming. Because my daughter is going from childhood to adolescence. It's pressure in the media today about the body of a woman. When she goes swimming at that young age, I'm thinking, how much pressures does she have that I had, that my body was changing and I have to wear this swimsuit at this age? And I've got all these young boys who are around me who may not be affected, but I'm affected by the changes in the other girls around me. Am I changing too early? Are they changing too early? Am I wearing it in the right way? Are they wearing it in the right way? She said, Oprah, I looked at my daughter and I took her away from the swimming lessons, and I felt my daughter was developing in adolescence in the way she should be, not through pressure, but through freedom. She said, because my daughter was not meant to take that much pressure at a young age in seeing her body changes. She said, Oprah, do you see anorexia? Do you see bulimia? Do you see how many girls are under pressure because of their bodies? She said, when I looked at Islam saying, let the girl be comfortable, don't expose her to the skimpy dresses you expose her at that young age. She said, I recognize Islam and appreciate this. But she said, more than this, Oprah, you know when I dropped my daughter to school? She said, yes. She said, when I dropped her, I just stopped in the car and I saw her walking in with her hijab. But a hijab, not where she's wearing tight hijab, because it defies the point. The pressure remains. Is the jeans in the right shape? Is the jumper figure hugging? The pressure is still there. When she wore a hijab that was a bit looser, she could walk into that school comfortable. The girls in her age are wondering about their body shape, whereas my daughter is wondering about her character. My daughter is developing into a woman while the girls in her age group are simply dying as young women. And then she said, the Prophet explained 3 skins. A woman's first skin is her physical hijab, and then the social hijab, then the hijab of being a visionary. She said that the Prophet said there's 3 hijabs, but Islam is focusing too much on one. That she said the same way we have 3 skins as humans, the Prophet of Islam said that there's 3 skins to the hijab. You wear your physical hijab, you need a social hijab. You have a social hijab, you need a hijab of a visionary. What's a visionary? A visionary is what we are lacking, and why Rima comes out the way she comes out. Do you know what a visionary is? A female who emerges as a powerful speaker in Western society. When you come to the reform of the female in Western society, the first reform that we need, in order that we don't have another case of Arima Faqih, is that we need more female women speakers in our communities. What do I mean by that? I mean that however many male speakers you bring to Australia, every Muharram, there are still certain issues which the male speaker cannot talk about, which the female can. But you can't have a female speaker whose